8.1 Responses to the environment. The question is, how can organisms respond to their changing surroundings? The stimulus is the change that acts on the organism, and every organism responds to the stimulus through various ways. The stimulus can come from the outside, the changing environment, from the changing environment. Like the changing environment can be the rain or heat or coldness. Also the season, a leaf represents the change of the season, and also the food supply that the organism can have, more or less, depending on. And also the change can come from inside. For example, the blood sugar level for the organism, the temperature of the internal temperature of an organism, as well as the osmolarity of the blood inside of the organism. The response can be physiological response that happens inside of the organism's body, such as increasing heart rate or breathing rate, or decreasing it, changing the temperature, or the urination process is increasing or decreasing, depending on. Another type of response is behavioral response towards the stimulus, and the goal of a behavioral response are two-folded. One of them is focusing for the survivorship of the organism or its fitness, with also the physiological responses too. I forgot that arrow. But the behavioral response also focuses on reproduction, to passing on the genes more frequently and in a bigger scale. The behavioral response is going to be conveyed through communication. The communication can have its own several different ways to happen. The communication can go through visuals. The visual, like the honeybee would use to show its colony where the food source is. It can also be audible communication, like when the cicadas or the crickets rub their wings or to their legs or whatever, so give out some sound. The third type is the tactile communication, touching each other, like grooming each other for the chimpanzees. And the third one is the last one is the chemical way of communication, called through pheromones. These are chemicals that are used for several purposes, like acts as an alarming signal, or goes for courtship, or marking the territory, like this bear rubs its fur next to the tree to mark its breeding territory. The survivorship, behavioral towards survivorship, is like migration to find food for the animals, hibernation for the bears to conserve energy, phototropism for the plants to increase their photosynthesis ability to make food for themselves, photoperiodism also to increase the photosynthesis for the plants, closing and opening their stoma depending on what time of the day is. nocturnal or diurnal activities to avoid predation or to increase getting praise. Circadian rhythm is also for that same reason. The kin selection is for some animal to sacrifice their own life to save closely related organisms like ants and bees groups, pack behavior for the lions to catch the prey as well as for the wolves, and the schooling for the fish to avoid predation. Reproduction, also a behavioral, just elicits a behavioral response in order to keep up with reproduction, like marking territories as well as the courtship. These behaviors, as well as the physiological and the behavioral responses as well, are selected by natural selection, by nature, and nature picks the best behavior that suits for the organism's survivalship as well as its reproduction. Thank you, and I hope you understood how can organisms respond to their surroundings. Thank you for your time. Bye.